So up here in the neighbor's go-kart run, he actually has 2 of them running now. I want to get mine running. And the biggest problem so far, the steering's locked up. It's this bushing right here. I sprayed some blaster there, some blaster here, some blaster everywhere that it pivots. And I've got my big crescent wrench. And I've got it moving for the first time since I've had it. It was just a straight driver. Now it might take the curves. I'm thinking the more you use it, the better it'll get. Put a little grease in there. It'll be good to steer. So here in the go-kart, where this gear is, I've got to mount the engine over a little bit. If I put it in the holes that's in this motor mount, the gear is going to be right here where the belt is. So I'm building this engine lift plate. Gives me a little clearance between this gear and that gear. And I'm going to have to drill holes in the plate to mount the motor. Then I'm going to take bolts and go all the way through the plate, through the signpost, and into the motor mount. In the front, there's a signpost. I'm going to have to weld it to this plate, and then I can just drill 2 holes in the front for the motor. Also, I got the brake system freed up a little bit. It was all rusted down. It moves now, and the throttle cable even moves. Go-kart update, I've welded together a motor mount. This purple paint, I stole it from the daughter. She painted a bicycle and had some leftover paint. Anyway, this is signpost. This is just a piece of scrap plate. I took my $100 Facebook MIG and stuck it together. I got to drill 4 more holes for the motor. I'm going to go ahead and paint it first, and I need 4 more bolts. Let's see, master link for the chain. Those 3 things, those 4 holes, we should be riding. So my custom purple motor mount is now dry. It's sitting in place. I just went to the hardware store, bought 4 bolts. If you need to tighten the chain, this slides back and forth. My next challenge, I got to figure out where to drill my 4 holes. Then I can mount my engine. Then I can start working on getting that chain on. Feels like the 2 gears are lined up. According to my eyeball, they're lined up. I got to mark these holes. So I think I got the motor mount right where it goes and the engine right where I want it. I got this little stubby pencil. I'm trying to mark the holes. Then we're going to drill the holes, put the bolts in. What's really neat about this motor mount, that signpost, there were holes already in the signpost that lined up with the holes on the go-kart. What are the chances of that? Anyway, that made it a lot easier. I've got the bolts in the back. I've got the bolts in the front. Got to tighten them up. I've got the bolt holes drilled for the motor to mount on. This part's getting close. Here's the gas tank in the middle of turning purple. I'll paint the top now. I just got back from the store, the go-kart, the used go-kart parts store. I got this air filter housing and the new air filter. At the hardware store, I got this little skinny butt gas line, a bolt that goes here, and 2 nuts. Now I can go ahead and put the gas tank on, if I can get this little small line to work. That's next on my list. It might be a tight squeeze to get the gas can in there. We'll know in a second. What a pain. I just poured a little gas in the carburetor so we can see what's going to happen. That's something. And then I pulled it a couple more times, my rope broke. So now we are on hold. And then just like that, I happen to have some blue paracord. We're going to try that for a while. So I just drained the carburetor, ran a wire up through the jet. Jet's open, and then I reached, it's kind of a pain, but I reached up in there and I chugged it. Off camera, it fired up. So then I turned the choke off, turned the camera on. Let's see what happens. Now we gotta get that chain put on. How fast can we get the chain on? The chain has been shortened. It is on. The master link is in. I believe it's time to fire it up and watch the tires turn. And now when I get the chain where I want it, right about there, and then tighten up the 4 motor mount bolts, we're going to go for a test ride. So I've got no choke level. I just came from the go-kart store again. The guy gave me this. I hope it's the right one. I'm about to try it out. Choke is necessary. And now to answer the question, is it the right choke lever? Looks good to me. I'm going to put it back together. So this is the very next day. We had a good hard rain last night. Probably a couple inches fell. We'll see how it did after its bath. Anyway, update. The boys drove it while I was at work before I could get a video of it driving. And they have chewed up my belt good. Problem is, I had to put a washer behind one of the pulleys so the chain would fit. And that made the pulleys out of line. So I got to get 2 small thin washers today to make the pulleys be in line. I've already got a new belt. What else? Oh, I need a new lock nut to keep the top pulley on the torque converter. And while they were driving it, somehow they lost the master link in my chain. So I'm going to get some master links today. Then we can get that ride video. Anyway, I installed the choke lever yesterday. And this is going to be a cold start. Well, July in Florida, it's never cold. But it's not been started since yesterday. So I'm going to try it once with the choke off. Then we'll try it with the choke on. Give it some gas. It's ready to ride. Going to the go-kart shop here in just a few minutes. I just came back from the go-kart parts place. I got 2 washers with keyways. That's one goes behind this, one goes behind that. That gives me enough space to get the chain in there and keeps them in line. I got a master link for the chain. It's a 40-1. This is what I was using. That's what threw out my alignment. It lets the chain fit in, but throws the pulleys out of alignment. And this old nut would not get tight. Voila. Now it's just a matter of putting it all together and going for that test drive. And by the way, the neighbor gave me this belt. This is compared to the old belt that's worn out. New belt's twice as wide. It is go-kart update time. I got the converter torn all apart. I've got a washer here. I've got a washer here. I had to go drill this one. This is a 5/8. This is a 3/4. I had 2 5/8 washers. So this one's been drilled to 3/4. It goes on there. The 2 washers are the same thicknesses, so now the pulley should be back in line. Once I get those bolted on, get the belt on. But first, I've got this master link here. So this little plate goes on first. The chain is now done. It's time to finish up the torque converters. Good. Now once I get these 2 tight, we'll get the belt on, then it's go time. It is test drive time. If you look here by the tree, there's an old go-kart seat. It's kind of in bad shape, plus it's wet. So I got an old couch cushion out of the Explorer in case I ever want to go camping. I save some couch cushions. I'm going to sit on that. Oh, and the boy's going to keep up with me on the neighbor's go-kart. Ready? He thinks he's ready. So yesterday I made this tiller linkage work, but it wasn't idle. So today I'm taking this linkage out. I straightened out that bend. I took about an 1/8 inch out of the length of it. Then I rebent it, cut off an 1/8 inch. I'm going to put it back in. We'll know in a few minutes if it's going to work. If it does, it's test drive time again. Okay, I shortened the linkage. Before I put the air filter on, let's test it. I even got rid of one of the springs and it's still working. I think I might better fire it up, make sure it idles. So the purple streaker just hit, I don't know if you can see that or not, 30.2 miles an hour. I'll do a screenshot that I can show you on the computer. That'd be much better. Anyway, it was still climbing, but I have no brakes. I couldn't tell if anything was going to be coming or not. There's driveways, so I stopped. I got to get the brakes better. Then we'll do another speed run. That first one's actually a racing go-kart. It's an antique racing go-kart. It sits really, really low. It's a posi rear end. It's got a place for 2 engines. Need to do some restoration on that one. Next door to it's a Manco. The neighbor got it from the dump for free. Runs good too. Next to that, the boy just got that one from the neighbor. He got the Manco running, and the one on the end, the Kilowatt, he's working on that for the neighbor, so the neighbor gave him this go-kart. And the streaker, the purple one, that's mine. I got it from the recycle place about a year and a half ago. There's a video. In fact, there's a video for this one and for the antique race go-kart. I'll try to leave you a card for both of them right about now. And the one on the end, that's a Kilowatt. We're in the middle of trying to put a bigger engine on it right now. That'll be a to be continued video. Anyway, this video is mostly about my purple streaker getting it running. There's also some clips of the Kilowatt running and the Nitros running and the Manco running. This one's not ran in years. And these two are our daily drivers right now, but why don't you vote which one you like best out of all 5? Leave a comment. And this one I used to ride as a kid. Here's a picture to prove it. That may be where all this started. So that's probably enough for episode number 1. In episode number 2, I got to redo the pull rope, not using paracord next time. That didn't last very long. I want to get a seat on it, a seat belt, better brakes, and the back tires. I might take the knobbies off and put some slicker ones on for donuts. All that in episode 2. Oh, and the boy, he'll probably put some videos of his go-karts on his channel. It's called Wyatt Henry. Thanks for watching.